It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Hello everyone, my name is Tyrone Lowe. This is another T. Lowe Video Productions. And in the house tonight, I have Aaron K. Gray. Welcome to my show, The Legends, my brother.
Thank you for having me.
So how you doing, man? How's everything?
Doing really good.
I see
excited.
that. I mean, you got a banging LP, man.
Thank you very,
but before
very
we get into that, let's talk about the beginning. How did you actually get started singing and doing the things you do?
Well, I actually started at the age of 5. My mother and father were pastors of a church, so being with my mother as a choir director, she made sure that she put me in the choir, so that's where I really got my start as far as singing is concerned. But with my music career, Junior White actually found me in a chapel on the Upper East Side of Manhattan and brought me into house music. So shout out to Junior White and thank you for that.
Okay. I've listened to your LP, man. It is fantastic.
Thank you.
I mean, very epic. And let's talk about some of the songs on the LP.
Okay.
Let's talk about it. Anything that you want to talk about particular about it? Any song?
I love all the songs, so...
well, let's talk about one of
see.
them and how you're really expressing it and what you're projecting.
Well, right now, what seems to be the most popular song on the LP is Resting Place.
Okay.
So that's being played at pretty much about all over the world, I think, if I'm correct, because every time I turn it on, or John, my manager, turns it on, like we're hearing it, and then would be Ride Like the Wind. Okay. So that's getting quite a bit of play as well.
Ride Like the Wind is that's my favorite. Believe it or not, I play it almost every day.
Oh, wow.
It's in my mixtapes.
Thank you.
And when I first heard it, I fell in love with it. When I got all the tracks, I called your manager right away, and I said, I got to have you on my show.
Thank you very much.
And so when you're singing, what are you really expressing?
I'm expressing whatever the song entails. Like, for instance, if it's Jesus, that's my excitement and my understanding of how he is and what he is to me, and the fact that I know that I can call on him for anything, and he'll always be right there. So that's really about excitement. Resting Place is, like, when I sing that takes for me a bit more of a personal road, because it's definitely a personal message. Because, on day-to-day life, things get hectic and things get crazy. Sometimes your boss may act a little strange with you. Right. Or if your husband or your wife, or your boyfriend or your girlfriend may act a little awkward with you, and you're, like, trying to figure out what's going on. Sometimes you need to find a resting place. Right. So that is that resting place. So that brings me to a place of calm, peace. So sometimes even when I'm not feeling at my best, it brings me centered. So.
Okay. Well, that still gets me back to Gone with the Wind. You
know
like what I'm saying? Yeah, let's talk about some of the producers that are actually producing you.
Yes.
That had a lot to do with your LP.
So, Gomi.
Okay.
DJ Gomi, phenomenal Grammy Award-winning producer who I'm so honored to be working with on this. He contributed about 5 songs to this, so I'm super happy about that. Then we have Junior White, who is the beginning of my career. He also gave us Jesus and Rejoice. So there's actually going to be some remixes on Jesus that are going to come out soon. Okay. Stacey Kidd did one of the remixes, and it's
I would love to do one myself if I can. I would really love to. Through this whole journey of your musical career, let's talk about some ups and downs, if you have any that you really want to share to your viewers.
The ups, because everything it's like a continuous up. It's like, okay, so 2014 I got into music. That was an up.
Okay.
Then, gathering all the people and the friends and the followers and support. Right. That was an up, all the way up to present day. Early this year, 3 songs that released at about the same time. They all hit the top 10, so that's another up. And then the album is currently in the top 10, that's
Right.
another up. So, you know, and like the people that I'm working with in the future, that's another up. So it's like they're constantly going
great.
up. So
Yeah,
there's
and that's
not
good.
been.
Climbing up that corporate ladder of successes. How did you feel about it with yourself within? You know.
I'm still gravitating towards the level of understanding as to
Okay.
what's really happening because it's, you know, I enjoy what I do.
Okay.
So, you know, when I'm not out and about, I'm working and I appreciate the work and I enjoy the work, you know. So oftentimes I don't get a chance to really look up and see what's going on and survey the situation and, you know, as an understanding to see where I am. So
Right.
I'm often calling John like, what's going on?
Oh, okay. So, Aaron, who inspired you as a singer, you know, to actually make you so fluently, you know, a singer?
The Clark sisters.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a new one.
Particularly- Yeah, particularly Karen because
Okay.
she does some pretty awesome things with her
Right.
voice. So, from the Clarks, well, mainly, finally Karen, which was her first album. I think that released in '98 or '99. That
Okay.
was, or it might have been a little bit sooner, but that was like the first album where I actually got to hear her by herself express who she was. So
Right.
it was like, that's a totally different take
Oh, yeah.
and it's something that you could really feel. So sometimes, you know, I think music has got to get to a point where we can't structure everything
Right, true.
and you can't put everything in a box. Sometimes you got to color outside the lines to get people to feel what they
Right.
need to feel.
And who would be your second best after that?
J Moss.
Okay.
Brother is bad.
Oh, okay.
He's a bad mamma jamma, yeah.
So my question to you is that through this whole journey that you're actually going through, they have a lot of upcoming artists coming out and
Yes.
stuff like that. Any suggestions to them? You know?
Everything's not always going to be easy, and it's not going to always look the way that you expect for it to. Just trust the process and trust God in the process, and don't vent online.
I hear that. You know, it's phenomenal that you talk about it because I see a lot of spirituality in you, and I notice your LP is filled with it. You know, I do a lot of gospel house mixtapes, and I'm always looking for that. And when I first got your first single and I put it on my mixtape, it automatically went into the top 100s.
Oh, wow.
You know, and it's phenomenal because I didn't know who you really were at the time. I've heard of you, but I didn't really know you.
Yeah.
You know, I get a lot of promotional stuff, and when I put it out there, and you know, everybody was calling me up, hey, what's the name of that? You know, and I was like, that's Aaron Gray, you know, and but when I got to LP,
Yeah.
it just blew me away, you know, and I was like, wow,
So what's your favorite track on there?
going with the wind. Go with the wind. I mean, I play it every day. It inspires me. It lifts me up. And then it was one of my favorite songs from the original
Oh, okay. Yeah.
because I was into a different genre of music. I grew up from rock. I used to be a punk DJ at one time. So
Oh, nice.
it used to. I was like rock orientated at this time, so I was into stuff like that, Christopher Cross, you know, stuff like that. And then when I decided to be a house DJ, that's who I am right now.
Yeah.
But I come from a lot of original stuff from back in the days, a lot of pop. And Gone with the Wind
Well, you
was
know,
really
the cool thing about Ride Like the Wind is
Right with the Wind, yeah.
I hadn't heard of the song.
Oh no!
No, I'd never heard of the song.
Wow.
And John was like, try this. So I was like, what is it? He was like, Ride Like the Wind. So I was like, okay. So he was like, this is a big song back in the day. So
Yeah, Ride with the Wind was a very big song back in the day, you
Yeah.
know. And I have to shout out to your producer that actually did the track because it's a marvelous. I couldn't even see nobody else doing it right now. It's like really.
it was a journey getting it done because it's a very musical song.
Yes.
And I think it really requires for one to be a musician, like a extremely fluent musician, to
Right.
be able to produce such a track because it moves so much that it can be very complicated.
Okay.
So it sounds very simple, but it's actually very complicated. Even with singing it, it's very complicated. To the point where one of my fans reached out to Christopher Cross and they're actually kind of close.
Right.
And Christopher Cross was saying Rashiz. I can't even sing that high.
Right, yeah. It's like,
So-
I was on YouTube and I seen you do a live performance at a party.
Yeah.
Blew me away. I'm like, look at this guy, man. I mean, you're a natural, man. Your abilities are very strong. I like your energy,
Thank
really,
you.
And so let me ask you a question, just to forward, futuristically,
Yep.
through your craft, where would you want to be at least 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I would love to have several different residencies overseas.
Okay.
Yeah, like pick a nice little spot of London or maybe even Ibiza, or Dubai,
Okay.
and have like several different residencies, because I absolutely love singing.
I hear that.
I love singing. I enjoy having the opportunity to use music to motivate people, to inspire people, to maybe change a frown into a smile.
Okay.
So I use music the way that music used me. So everybody's had ups and downs in their life.
Right.
For me, it's some of the lowest points in my life.
Okay.
Music was there. When nobody else was, music was there.
Okay.
So because I know the power of music, when I sing, I try to put that power that I understand
Right.
back into the music for the people to feel.
Okay. As far as your journey of traveling, and you travel a lot, man, and what would be your favorite performance that you can actually remember right now? That actually inspired you and gave you great excitement, where you actually, you put that form together and you really felt good that night. I'm sure there's at least one.
I think it would have to be when I was my very first time at Winter Music Conference, because
Okay.
it was a lot to get to that point, and
Right.
it was a big transition and a shift
Okay.
that happened for me,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of is what led me into where you see me with all the different rhinestones and stuff like that.
Right.
Because a conversation that was had with me from a larger artist, it shook me a bit and had me to realize some things. If you're going to be an inspiration, you literally have to be an inspiration, figure out who you are
Right.
and your point of view as an inspiration, and you have to be all of that. So, for me, that was almost a defining moment, because then I started to look at myself and understand who I am and how best to inspire people.
Okay. And so we know that you're in one particular type of music, house music.
Yeah.
In the future, do you plan on singing other genres as well?
Not really.
Okay.
But I would be open to it as long as whatever songs that we sing or work on or do,
Right.
everything would have to be transmitted over into house. Like there has to be
Right.
absolutely a house
That's
remix.
uplifting for you.
Yeah, because
that's good.
I would absolutely find it heartbreaking to start off with an audience and a group of people, and you start cultivating an inspirational style for
Right.
these people, and then you jump off to the next thing. That's great for the individual.
Right.
But what about all the lives that you've now impacted? What's left for them?
Right.
So I have no problem with expanding, but I won't expand if it's not going to allow me to
Right.
keep everybody.
Right. I understand what you're saying. Ladies, this is the most important questions. Aaron, are you single? Ladies want to know. And I'm sure the inquiring minds really wants to know.
I am single. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm definitely single.
Okay.
Ain't the happiest thing to be single, but
Well, I think I put it in there because, when you do shows like this,
Yeah.
especially the ladies,
Yeah.
they'd be like, I wonder if he's single,
let me tell you, being single as a musician is not the easiest thing to do.
Okay.
Mainly because a lot of people want to be in a relationship with somebody who's in the industry.
Right.
But it takes a lot to understand what
Yeah.
it really entails.
Yeah.
First thing that you got to understand is you're not going to be number one in that relationship.
Right, okay.
Music will always be number one.
Right.
Doesn't mean that you take a back seat. Music is always going to be first, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to provide for us both.
Okay.
So you can't come in between the music and the musician and where they're going, because eventually there had to be a choice.
A balance,
you're
yeah.
gonna lose. So either be an asset or don't do it.
You sound like you have some identification for that. You know, me, I do a lot. I'm a DJ. I'm a certified recording engineer. I do a lot, but yes, I am in a relationship. But I try to keep it balanced.
Right.
You know, it's hard at
But
times.
I'm pretty sure that in your relationship you
Well,
have support, and you
Well,
don't
not
have
only
somebody
that,
saying to you.
it's all in mindset, and it has a lot to do with consideration and understanding.
That's the main part.
You know,
That's
the
main part.
wavelength of saying, well, I'm not going to bother him because I know this is his craft, or I'm not going to bother her because I know this is her craft. But when it's time out, we merge together,
Exactly.
and then we just put the time in together. You
Right.
know, sometimes it becomes overwhelming. Sometimes because it's like, he's doing too much. You know, sometimes you feel the vibes. You know what I'm saying? And I don't
Let
want
me
to
tell
stop
you,
what I'm doing, but
That's the main
what it is.
reason why I'm single, because I have a tendency to get the, I haven't seen you this week.
Right.
Yeah, but I've been telling you everything that I'm doing, so that way you understand why I haven't.
Right.
I haven't seen you as much as I would like to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, this might not work.
So quickly, Aaron, let's talk about some upcoming features that you might want to leak to your views that you got coming up.
You Showed Me by Brian Pope and I. Ooh-wee.
Okay.
Hot. And Masaki Mori and I just finished working on a song called Right Now that he just submitted to King Street, if I'm correct.
Okay.
So that's another one that's going to be coming out. Plus, I don't want to let those out yet.
Well, you don't have to.
When I tell you those...
Surprise your viewers. Surprise
Yeah.
your for fans.
Stay tuned for some stuff that's really going to be, like, super.
Okay. Let's
Like,
talk about some live performances that you got coming up.
well, next week is Atlanta. Then there's the 22nd. We have an event a press event for a fashion show that we're
Okay.
taking a part of. The 28th is the fashion show.
Right.
I think Baltimore, October 7th. We're not sure if we're going to do it at the end of October or November, but there's another event, the Function House with Barbara Tucker, so we're
Okay.
also going to be doing that. And now we're moving back into the season of House for the Homeless and the
Okay.
Book Bank Foundation. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do in regards to that. And that actually kind of depends on because Barbara, myself, and there's several other artists, Don Tallman, Georgie Porgy,
Right.
and a lot of more artists, we actually did a track called Live, Dream, Hope, Love.
Okay.
So we recorded that.
I talked to Barbara last Sunday.
Yes.
She was going to a funeral, I think, or a wedding or something like that. And I plan to have her on my show in October because she knows
Awesome.
she's getting ready to go away. So,
Yeah.
Aaron, quickly, tell me your contact, like your email address, how people could contact you. Like, quick.
So if you need to get in touch with me, reach out to me by Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or contact my manager at Quad4 Promotions, QUAD, the number 4, promotions@gmail.com, or 732-682-0239. And no, you're not calling me. Yes, you are calling John.
So, you know, it's a pleasure.
Likewise.
It's really a pleasure to have you on here. And, you know, he's going to do 2 live performances on my show, and I'm sure it's going to be epic, and so enjoy it. Any shout-outs to anybody right quick?
Yes, shout out to Junior White. Thank you for everything that you have done and that you are doing to make me a better me. Same thing for John A. Jackson. Thank you for everything that you have done and that you are doing and that you're going to do to make me a better me. If it was not for the 2 of them specifically,
Right.
I would not be the guy that you
Okay.
see right now. Shout out to all of the producers that I've worked with. I thank you guys for all of the music that you've donated to myself, so that way we together could collaborate and get together to put out amazing music for the people. Thank you to all the labels that have worked with me, because you gave me a shot when other people wouldn't. So thank you to all of you guys for that. And to my fans and my supporters, I love y'all so much. Where would I be without you?
Okay. Aaron, thank you for coming on my show, you know, giving it away, letting people know who you really are, what you're really feeling, and what people really expect of you. So I'm your host, Tyrone Lowe. I'm the CEO for T-Lowe Video Productions. I hope you enjoyed this show, and stay tuned for more episodes. Thank you so much.
What's his name? Jesus. The El Shaddai. Jesus. The King of Kings. Jesus. The Lord of Lords. Jesus. Who died for you? Jesus. So that you could be free. Jesus. What's his name? Jesus. What's his name? Jesus. When you at home, call him. Jesus. In the time of need. Jesus. When you're at work. Jesus. When you're at school. Jesus. What's his name? Jesus. What's his name? Trouble. Go to you, call on when you need release from the struggle. Go to you, call on when you need to be rescued from the trouble of the struggle you have gotten yourself into. Just God, nobody but mine, nobody but mine will show up on time. Yeah, nobody but Father, here I am, it is me. Once again, Lord, it don't feel good in the cold outside looking in. I need shelter from the rain, 'cause it's bringing so much pain. Won't you please take my hand? Lord, I know you will understand if you show me the way. I would be okay. Oh, Lord, yeah. You're my for my weary soul, traveled far across this land, even gone through desert sand, trying to find some relief, searching for inner peace. Oh, gotta find it.